maybe if I would.
Okay, are we ready?
We are, I'm not sure who our W is.
Controller partition.
Oh, okay.
Sheriff.
We are ready to go, Al, yes.
Okay.
Actions.
Do you have Mr. Mayor muted, Patrick?
I just did.
Okay. Welcome to our September 23rd meeting. Please call the roll.
Jawohlke.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Mrs. Ehrlich.
Here.
Mr. Titterington.
Here.
Mr. Westmeyer.
Here.
Mr. Cappers.
Here.
Mr. McGarry.
Here.
All members are present.
Okay, we have distributed to us our August 26th, 2020 minutes. Are there any additions, deletions, or changes to those minutes?
The host muted you, it said.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, next we have the Historic District application for 2 and 6 North Market Street. Does staff have a report?
I do. I'll be giving that. We have applicants Wade and Yvonne Sarber are requesting a historic review from Planning Commission for exterior renovation at 2 and 6 North Market Street. Both buildings are listed on the National Register of Historic Buildings. According to the Ohio Historic Inventory Form, 2 North Market Street commercial building was built by Henry Mayo in 1848, classified as a Victorian with Greek Revival influence. The building has 2 frontages with the main entrance on Market Street side and a covered outside seating on the square side. The 6 to 8 North Market Street is also a commercial building which was built in 1800
there in the bottom.
to 1910 and has been separated into 2 buildings and separately owned. The building at 2 and 6 is owned by Bob Aduli, which is under 2 North Market Street LLC. In February 2020, he purchased the former La Piazza building, which again includes 2 and 6 North Market Street buildings. Since that time, apartment spaces have been renovated and new leases issued. I know the 2nd floor is occupied on 2 North Market Street, and on 6 North Market Street, there's 2 units. At least one of those are occupied, and the other I think is being renovated. The 1st floor stretches across both buildings and has attracted a new concept restaurant, Agave and Rye, which is a modern tequila and bourbon hall, creating epic experiences for patrons. Troy will be their 6th location. So next I'll go through the proposed modifications to both of these buildings, which will cover the shutters, awnings, windows, painting, and signage and lighting. The proposed shutters, it's being proposed that those be removed on both the south and east elevations. When I talk about the south elevation, I'm talking about the side of the building facing the square. And the east elevation would be the side of the building facing Market Street. The awnings, it's proposed that to remove 4 existing awnings and install 5 black and white striped 4 foot by 6 foot sculpted awnings. That would be 3 over 3 windows facing Market Street, and there's 2 doors also facing Market Street that would get those awnings. The product would come from Sunbrella, the fabric, and that's also indicated on the renderings that's in the packet. And then the other awning is the primary or the largest awning, which is 54 feet by 4 foot 4 inch on the south side elevation. And that also would be a black and white striped cover by Sunbrella. Moving on to windows. The applicant is asking to replace 6 of the existing 6 picture windows, which is located under the primary large awning. Each of these current windows are 30 inch by 70 inch. and to be replaced with 4 sets of wood aluminum clad bifold windows made by Sierra Pacific. The color would be black, and there is a catalog cut as part of the packet, so you can see what that looks like. In terms of painting, all wall elevations are proposed to be the color black with white trim along the cornice, and also the windows, which would include the lintels on the top and the sills at the bottom that are stone. Staff got with the applicant, and a further detail on that painting is the east elevation first floor windows facing Market Street, or wood windows. Those would be painted white. So we're talking about the window itself, the sash, and the whole window. And then the lintel, or the stone lintel above those windows, would be painted black, so not white, so that would blend in. It will be mostly covered by the sculpted awning, but in case the edges that are not, that would be blended in with black.
So you're talking about the second and third floors basically be black instead of white as on the
I'm
rest?
talking about just the first floor windows facing Market Street. There's a
Okay.
stone lintel right above the window. There's awnings there. If you look at some of the pictures, that stone lintel, the trim, if you will, is a lighter color. So in this case, it would blend in, those being black, not white trim.
Okay, on the second and third floor, I see that there are, in the rendering, there appears to be a lintel above the second and third floor windows that is painted white. Is that going to?
All the other sills and lintels throughout the building would be trimmed white, just like the cornice.
Thank you.
Moving on to doors. The south elevation has 3 doors, and 2 of those are under the awning, so a little bit difficult to see. Specifically, the far left side next to the awning, it's actually outside of the awning space, will be painted black to blend in with the building primary color. The other 2 doors under the awning will have a faux finish, and the faux color combines yellow, red, and actually black. I had green in there, but it's actually black. So there's actually a color, Pantone colors in part of your packet. You can see the yellow, red, and black Pantone numbers, if you will, as part of your attachment. The east elevation, our Market Street side, has 2 doors, and also will have the faux finish. That's the primary door entry, as well as the carry-out door entry. In regards to signage and lighting, A&E Signs provided, I believe, a 6-page detail of their signage as part of your application. Well done. The south elevation would have a total of 25.84 square feet of signage and white lettering and graphic along the balance of the awning. It's on page 3 of the A&E. The building wall signage towards the roof of the cornice located at the top would have a 35 by 120 inch and white 1/2-inch PVC lettering, including the B logo. The east elevation, the building wall signage above the door, and awning for carryout, 11 feet by 53 inch. I think it's, 11 feet by 53 inch, and agave and rye with the logo located above the arched window, which is 25 inch by 88 inch, using PVC lettering. Both south and east elevations share equally a large agave B on the corner. And that's also displayed in the rendering. And finally, for signage and lighting, there's an existing projecting sign to be refaced each side with 42-inch by 66-inch panel with white lettering. The sign cabinet itself will be painted black. External lighting fixture will be attached to the building, mounted as a corner bracket, also in black. This be noted that is it's not an internally illuminated sign. Discussion, the property is located northwest corner of Public Square, Zone B3 Central Business District. The ground floor has been vacant for several years with empty restaurant space. The second story is being used as residential. Gave and Rye proposed the noted exterior building modifications to both make the updated improvements to the building and to bring their epic experience that sets them apart from a traditional restaurant. This application has been reviewed for compliance with all requirements of the zoning code except for the additional design standards imposed by the historic district regulations and been found to comply with the same. Staff has reviewed this application and we recommend approval to the planning commission.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Are there any questions of staff? I'll ask a couple. And I'm unfamiliar with the signage code as far as it deals with murals. Is there such a thing? Or are murals just part of the painting of the building? Or are they considered signs?
So this one here would be, when we discuss it, would be painting of the building, which is why it's come before the planning commission for a historic review.
Okay. Because if this ever comes up again with another business, we'll have to take a look at murals as part of just painting of the building. I looked at the sign code and it didn't appear to have anything in it concerning murals themselves. So, yes, go right ahead.
So just a reminder, I think you're absolutely correct, because if you recall with the Masonic Temple, the 2 iterations of murals, we handled those separately, and that was action that would be taken by the Planning Commission. And not to spoil a future meeting, but we expect to get some recommendations from the Troy Main Street Design Committee about the concept of murals on a couple of different, couple or 3, whatever, sites later on as a kind of a 2-step process. One, how does the Planning Commission feel about murals on particular buildings? And then if that's okay, then they would go out and they would do the actual design. So there would be not only one mural approval step, but we anticipate two-step process for the Planning Commission, which just reinforces your analysis.
The other comment I have about the mural is, do we have anything in the packet that says that, or shows us that murals were typical in our past history concerning this block? And then the reason I say this is once again, the debate upon the Planning Commission concerning whether colors and things like that in a historic district are murals of historic nature. I'm just throwing that out for discussion.
So I don't know if this particular building had murals on it in the past. Obviously, walking through the downtown, when I participated with Andrew in the Troy Main Street Walk, you could see several what are called, I guess, ghost murals, where you could see where they existed throughout the historic district on several side buildings. I couldn't tell you if it was exactly on this building, but I do know that they have been prevalent in downtown in the past.
Thank you. My only other question is I want somebody to refresh my memory concerning the area underneath the awning on the south side of the building. That's public right of way. It's not privately owned. Have we taken all the steps necessary to permit the new owner to go ahead and use that property?
So the owner, we require them to get planning commission approval first, and then they would come back to the city and apply for the right-of-way use. That would go through the director service and safety office, and as well as they'd have to provide some insurance information, things of that nature. But
Got it.
planning commission is the first step.
Thank you. Any other questions of staff concerning the matter?
Well, in the past, we've struggled mightily in terms of looking at shades of colors, materials and so forth to maintain the ambience and the history of the downtown. Does anybody else have a concern about whether this meets the ambiance and design and history of the downtown?
I had the same concern about a black building. I spent the last couple of days since we got our packet trying to really look at the square. and what the other buildings look like. And a black building that size is going to stand out all right. It's going to look very different from the buildings that are down there now. So I questioned the color black. Am I the only one with that concern?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, go right ahead.
So it certainly is unique, but if you look on the square and you look one block out, we have several very unique buildings there already, and not only there now, but previously. What comes to mind is the right across the street, I'll call it the mint green Ruby's building. Next to that, you have the now blue Cass building, which is a very sharp color. But prior to that, that bigger building was white with black trim. So in essence, we've just gone the negative, the flip side. If we approve this one, even the Caroline building it's a muted color, but it's kind of I guess a muted green. If you just go a little farther on East Main Street, we've approved Pinky Scout, the space formerly known as the Pinky Scout with pink or fuchsia. Olive Oasis is kind of a burnt orange, brownish orange, I guess. And then we can't forget the rather stark, recently painted Redmond building, which is predominantly gray, but a very bright shade of red. So, I would be more concerned if this building were painted the same color as another building, say, even the Cass building across the street. If it was the same color as the Cass building, then it just doesn't stand out and create a good contrast between the four corners. So I don't have a problem with the black and white at all. I thought it really popped.
I like the white and black. I thought it was very artistic. I mean, I thought it showed well on the city circle or square. I think our downtown is very unique and well kept. And to me, I think you think of the Hainer and other things that we have in downtown. There's more art to it. I thought it looked really nice.
Mr. Chair, I have a comment.
Go ahead, Mayor.
I actually am loving, my first reaction when I saw this was, oh my goodness, I love that. And I would actually like to put a motion on the floor to approve. I understand the motion may be put to the side while there's discussion, but I will move to approve and wait for further discussion. But I want that to be out there that I will move to approve.
Okay, there's a motion to approve the application. Is there support for that motion?
I'll second it.
Mr. Titterington, there's a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? As far as the color, I will throw my hat in the ring. I also took a look at the black as it first was presented, and I shared the concern that Larry and Sandra had. But I got through that mainly because of the old David Shoe building, which was white with black, as Mr. Titterington said. When you take a look at the history of that building that was presented to us at the time of the historic district application for the change in that painting, it was, I forget, it was a really different striking color. It was either a navy blue or a deep red. I can't remember which one now. But I think the black fits now with the downtown. And I'm sure if the applicant had gone back further, they would probably found some other black looking buildings. I know that across the railroad tracks, the coal yard building was black when I first came to town. I'm not sure if it was black way back in the day, but I'm okay with the black now. Any
I actually
further?
love the mural on it too. I think the mural is fantastic.
Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, I would please call the roll.
Mayor,
Yes.
Mrs. Ehrlich,
No.
Mr. Titterington,
Yes.
Mr. Westmeyer,
Yes.
Mr. Cappers,
Yes.
Mr. McGarry,
Yes.
Mr. Wolke.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any other matters to come before the commission today?
No.
Nothing further, thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you for your attendance.
Thank you all.
Thank you.